Hey everyone, in this video we're going to take a look at the text structure description. We're going to turn to page 2 in your notebook, so go ahead and do that. This should all be glued and ready to go. If it's not, you're going to need to take time and make sure that gets completed. I don't want loose papers all over the place, so if you take a picture of something, I should see that it's stuck into your notebook. You are going to look at these pages here for each of the structures. Over here tells you kind of how to do it. Here's some examples of it, and here are some possible graphic organizers that you could use while you are thinking about it. So this first one is description. This is not something that's probably new to you. You've been describing things since you were talking. And what we're going to be doing is doing some brainstorming and then writing for our description topic. So first thing I want for you to do is I want for you to think of a topic that you know enough about that you don't have to go look anything up. So consider like a sport that you play, or your pet, or a vacation you went on, or shopping, or a human whom you know really, really well. So think of any topic that you know enough about that you don't have to do any research at all, and you'll be able to write about over the course of 5 different lessons. Okay? So I am going to write about the beach. That's what my topic's going to be. Again, any topic that you know enough about to write a lot, like not a lot, but you don't need to think in order to write about it. So if you have, if you're like, I'm going to do the beach, but you've never been to the beach, it's probably not a topic for you to pick. Okay, if you're going to pick gymnastics, but you did that once when you were 3, that might not be the best topic for you to pick. Okay, so we have on page 2 the examples, and the first thing that we do as writers is we do a graphic organizer. And graphic organizers are sometimes messy, sometimes nice and neat. I'm not going to give you the graphic organizer. I've shown you examples here, but I'm not going to give them to you. And the reason for that is because very rarely, if ever, do I go to an adult meeting of some kind and have a graphic organizer handed to me. More often than not, I need to know the one that I'm going to create. So what we're going to do is we're going to think about your topic, and we're going to work to describe the topic, okay? I will tell you that the circle with the lines coming off of it is kind of my go-to graphic organizer for all things that we do, except for comparing. And I like to have that one go-to so my brain doesn't have to think every time, okay, so now I'm doing cause and effect, which graphic organizer do? Oh, now I'm doing sequencing, which graphic organizer do I need? Sometimes one can work. You just change if it goes this way, or if it goes this way, or if it goes this way. So that could be something to think about as we go through here. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one here. I am going to do the beach. So on page 3, you can kind of think of your piece of paper like in 2 parts. So if you want to draw a line, that's fine. But you want to divide your piece of paper in half-ish. Remember, at any point, you're going to pause this video if you're catching up. Okay, so at the top of the page, I am going to draw my graphic organizer. Remember, this doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to write beach inside of it. And I am going to think of terms to describe the beach. And I'm going to aim for at least 4. I'm going to try to get 5. The beach actually works really well too, because sometimes when we describe, we use our 5 senses: what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, what we touch. So with the beach, let's see, I'm going to describe the gritty sand, the smell of salt hanging in the air. So now what you're doing while I'm doing the beach is you're putting your topic here, or if you're trying a different graphic organizer, that's totally fine. But your topic is in the middle, and if you're doing gymnastics, you could put gymnastics here. I've seen before, like if you're doing gymnastics, they put gymnastics in the middle, and then they did bars, beam, etc. And then from there, they kind of triggered off 1 to 2 descriptors for each one. So that's something to think about too, where you're still using circles and lines. So the smell of salt hanging in the air. If I'm describing the beach, I got the sound. See, this one works well for the waves crashing. I'm kind of going to go like when I'm picturing the beach, like I'm picturing more of that warm day. So it's kind of got that like you know that wet feeling that's in the air, like it's a little bit humid, but like it's I don't know, it like sticks to your skin. I'm going to do that. Humidity that sticks. So you're doing your topic right now. Okay. So I have my 4. I think I'm going to stop at 4. I have at least 4. If you can get 5, get 5. Okay. So notice that I did stick a lot with the different. I went with smell, sound, feel. You could go with taste if that applies to your topic. Please don't like lick the basketball or something like that. That's really gross. So here's what I'm going to do next. So after I have done this, the point of a graphic organizer is that it stops us as writers from having to not only think of what we're going to write and how we're going to write it. So what we've done now is we have already written down what we're going to write. So now the only thing our brain has to think about is how we're going to actually put that into sentence format. So our brain did the work of what to write. Now we don't have to think about that anymore. So over here, I am going to go back to my expectations, and I have a topic sentence is needed. It needs to be really short. It needs to name your topic. So I'm going to name that I'm going to describe the beach. Okay? So here is an example. So for a government, an oligarchy government is one where few people are in charge. So here I did like a definition right at the beginning. Here, the house stood at the top of the hill like a giant staring down at the street below. So I've described where we're going. So your job as a writer is to make sure your reader is not confused. So your first sentence should be short and sweet, and it should tell the reader what we're doing. So if you're writing about basketball, then your first sentence should have the word basketball in it, like basketball is a sport. Or if I'm going to the beach, I could say... the beach, oh my goodness, my brain is not functioning yet. The beach, now here's the good thing right now. I'm going to go with as a popular vacation destination. Now, I'm not writing about vacation, so this probably isn't the greatest topic sentence for this thing, but what this is something. This will work as a mentor text because I've kept it short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've mentioned the beach, and I tried not to use all of my descriptors in my topic sentence because then what's the point? So your goal isn't to use those in your topic sentence. Your topic sentence should really just kind of name where we are or define it or something like that. So this works for what we're doing. If I were to actually turn this into a big piece about the beach, I might change it. Maybe I'll start with the description. I don't really know, but just know that I know this isn't great. All right. Let's see. Okay. You would hear the waves crashing on the shore. And I could do, let's see if I can do, I could almost write this in poetry format too. You'd hear the waves crashing on the shore, smell the salt hanging in the air, and feel the gritty, so you can be writing yours, sand beneath your feet. So all I did was I did the smell, done. I did the sound, done. I did the gritty sand. So now the only thing left for me to add is the humidity sticking to your skin. Now, these description paragraphs don't have to be super long. In fact, if you are spending too much time describing, it can start to feel overwhelming. And you don't want to necessarily do that either. The gritty sand beneath your feet. And feel the sand beneath your gritty feet. All of this, again, my best writing? Well, we're going to go with probably not. All of this while feeling, there's that feeling again. I'm not worried about it right now, but I did repeat myself. The humidity, humidity in the air, sticking, I think I said in the air in my paragraph too, to your skin. Okay, so here I have spent some time describing the beach. So I took my graphic organizer and then I turned it into a paragraph with a short topic sentence, and then I followed that with the descriptors. If you're getting to where you have more than 3 things in a list, 3 is kind of my magic number. If you're getting to where you have more than 3, make sure it's worth it. You could probably go to 4, but you hit 5, and all of a sudden you really have 2 sentences, one with 2 descriptors and one with 3, and then you're kind of blah, blah, blahing. If you're doing something like gymnastics, you probably put bars in a sentence, you probably put beam in a sentence, etc. So, all right. That is your description. I want to see it handwritten like this in your notebook. You're going to take a picture of it so that I can see it. We'll figure out how this works and see what happens. So there you go. There's description. Good work.